Hello, hello, and welcome to Workshop Wednesday. Today is actually National Metric Day. I know, how cool is that? So it's not really metrics like Google Analytics metrics, but hey, I'll take what I can get. So if you're into the metric system, today is your day. Getting started is what we're going to talk about. So a nice beginner's topic. Believe it or not, this is actually a beginner's topic, being able to track YouTube videos on your site. And I'm going to show you exactly why in this workshop. First and foremost, of course, those that are new to Workshop Wednesday, welcome. My name is Chris Mercer. I do go by Mercer, and I am the co-founder here at measurementmarketing.io, where you can find our stuff on platforms like Digital Marketer, Conversion Excel, Social Media Examiner, Seriously Simple Marketing, and others around the web. Real quickly, we always like to cover the 5 pillars of measurement marketing. The first is planning. And the reason that we do this is because we want to make sure that we're asking ahead of time. We got to think about the questions that we want to know, specifically, like in this case, to videos. What type of video interaction do you want to get, right? What type of information do you want to learn from your videos? Is it if they're starting them or stopping them or pausing them, or is it if they reached a certain point of time or a percentage, things like that? Then you think about what you're going to need to actually get those answers, which we'll talk about in this workshop. And of course, what are you going to do with all those answers? What actual insights and actions are you going to take once you have all those details? Then you do the build out, and that's what you're going to see today in this workshop. You're going to see the build out of all of this, specifically using Google Tag Manager to push the information into Google Analytics, but of course you could also push it into Facebook and everything else. Then you've got reports where you can use things like Data Studio to actually build dashboards of how your videos are doing. And then finally, forecasting. Once you have a benchmark of how things are working, you can begin to predict what your near future is going to look like. And then of course, you send traffic and you optimize based on what actually is happening when you compare it to your forecast, and then the whole thing starts all over again. That is measurement marketing in a nutshell, specifically how it relates to these YouTube videos. Now, with all of these workshops, remember your job is just one thing. There is a ton that we're going to cover with these. It is easy to get overwhelmed, and that can lead to frustration, and that's no fun. So we want to make sure you're focusing on just one thing, one idea. And once you have that idea, practice it. Then you come back, rewatch this, grab another idea, practice your skills a little more, and as soon as you know it or not, you're going to be an expert when it comes to this. Okay. Without further ado, getting started, tracking YouTube videos on your site. So we are actually going to flip into our Tag Manager. There we go. So now we're in Google Tag Manager. So we're going to go through here. Now, I've just got a basic container set up. This is for our demo site. So I'm in the tag section, a few tags that are there. And one of the things as a measurement marketer that I might want to measure, something that you might want to measure, is videos. So as an example, I'm going to go to this video, and this is specific to YouTube videos right now. It's what this workshop is about. So you can see here I've got an embedded video that is on this demo page, right? A little YouTube video. And I want to know, are people watching it? Are they clicking play? How far are they going? All that sort of stuff, right? So I have all this information that I'm trying to figure out if it exists or not. So that's really what I want to know. So I'm going to want to measure that, right? That is the interactions that I'm looking to measure in this particular case. So in order to do that, I'm going to use our buddy Google Tag Manager. So we're going to come over here and we're going to go into very first thing is, believe it or not, a trigger, not a tag. Now why? Because the tag is here's what I want you to do, but the trigger is here's when I want you to do it. And I've got to set that up. I've got to tell Tag Manager the when, like in this case, when they push play, when they stop, when they hit a certain point in time. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go to Tag Manager, and where do we find our whens? The whens are the triggers, right? Here's when I want you to do this. So I'm going to go to triggers, and we're going to click on, in fact, I've got one set up here, but I'm going to create a new one for you so you can see it. So we're going to go to new trigger, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to where it says YouTube video. Okay, so that's it. Now, when you do that, you're basically turning on the ability for Google Tag Manager to see, to be aware that this stuff is happening. That's all we're doing. So we've got the little YouTube video, I've got start, I've got complete. You can also pause, seek, right? If it's buffering, you can do any of that and trigger those. Progress, this is super cool. I got 10% of the way, whatever you want to do. You just type it in, 10, 25, 20, 30, 50, whatever you want to do. Then you also have time, which is what we're going to use here, just because that way we don't have to watch 25% of a video. But I'm going to say I want it at 10 seconds, at 20 seconds, at 30 seconds. But you could continue on. Just think about if you wanted 5 minutes in, it would just be 5 times 60 seconds, so 300 seconds is what you put in there if you want 5 minutes. And that's really useful because there might be a certain point in the video that you want to make sure people are watching, and this is how you would be able to see that. And then you've got this little section here. Normally, I have found it very helpful to click on this to make sure that things work so that it's able to see everything. So we're going to do that as well. And then as with all things in Tag Manager, you've got even more control. So I'm going to say, in this case, I'm going to leave this at all videos, but I could say just on some videos. I could do either certain video titles or names or pages that videos are on. So you can limit this if you want, but I'm going to keep it just global. And we're going to go ahead and save that. And I'm going to save this as a YouTube trigger. So I'm going to say YouTube, and this is a start, complete, and then 10-20-30. So this just tells me, it's something to mentally remind me, like, okay, what is this? It's a YouTube trigger. And then what does it do? It should be aware of the start of a video, the completion of a video, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds in. That's just all it is. Just something that sort of gives me some hierarchy to remember what this trigger does. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then I'm going to delete this one. So this is one that we set up a little while back. You can kind of see the same idea here. The difference is that we set it up for percentages. That's just what it looks like. So you can see that. But I'm going to delete this one because I want to make sure that we're not confusing anything with having two different triggers on there. So there we've got. There's our brand new one that we just set up with YouTube Start. Now what do we do to test? We go to Preview. So we're going to go into Preview. And we will, now that we're previewing, go into our window here in our demo account, and I'm going to refresh this. And what should happen is our preview window, which it does, which is great. So now I've got my Google Tag Manager preview window showing me all the things that Google Tag Manager sees and is aware of at this particular point in time. Now, what I want to do is just test this out. See, can it actually see this? So we're going to go through here. And I'm going to go ahead and mute this. So now we have our video playing. And you can see here, I got these little video events that are popping up. So there's GTM video, right? So I have these little video events that are popping up here. Now, at this point in time, it's not doing anything. You see there's no tags fired, but that's correct. We didn't actually set up a tag yet. We just wanted to make sure that GTM would be familiar with what's going on. So I'm going to click into the variable section here, and I want to see now, what does Tag Manager know about this particular event, about this video? Because remember, each one of these is different. If you watch here, it says gtm.video. I flip here, this gtm.click. That's when a click event happened. This is when the window loaded happened. Everything sort of changes because it's all based on a point in time. So I'm going to click on this gtm.video, and again, I want to see, what did Tag Manager know at this point in time? Well, it knew the URL that they were on, and this little, YouTube URL in particular, which is great, right? So I knew that. I also knew, let's see, page host name, kind of normal stuff. I also knew down here, video title. I also knew the video URL. Okay, pretty interesting stuff, right? That I'm able to know all that. But is that all that I want to know? I want to know, like, did I play the video, right? Like, where is that? Is it how far away is it through the video? Like all that sort of stuff. So I want to know a little bit more about this. And so I'm going to go into Google Tag Manager here, and I'm going to go into my variable section, and then I'm going to go into configure. So in configure, and I'm going to scroll down. These are the built-in variables. You have some built-in variables around video triggers, and you might have already turned these on or might not have. You can see here, I have some of these turned on, which are the video URL and the video title. That's why I can see them, but I don't have anything else turned on. So I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to turn all of these on. And now what's happening is I'm giving Google Tag Manager even more visibility. It's now able to see more around the particular event, in this case the gtm.video event that's being passed through with this trigger. So now I've turned on all of these. So now I'm going to go ahead and get out of that. I'm going to refresh our preview, as we should. And then we're going to go back into our video. And I'm going to refresh now. So watch the difference here. This is still the old one, and you can see our variables. I just have these two videos. That's it. So I'm now going to refresh, and what should happen is a brand new container is being loaded, preview mode for me here. And I'm going to go into our video or in our variables. Now at this point, I'm going to go to, let's just say, page view. At this point in time, this is the page view event. This is what Tag Manager knew at this point in time. So if I continue to scroll down, you see there's all my video variables, which is great. So now I know that Tag Manager is sort of listening for them. But at this point in time, at this page view, there was nothing going on. That's why they all show undefined. So now we're going to make something happen. I'm going to go ahead and click on play here. And let's see if we can get a little video event to fire. This is because the video had already buffered. I was trying to avoid that, but let's see if I can get it working. Come on, let go of my mouse. Gotta love this. I literally cannot unclick right now. All right, come on, you can do it. Come on, mouse. Let's try that. Okay, now we can probably get an event firing. We should be at 10 seconds in is when that event should fire, so let's see. And I'm not seeing anything. Great! Gotta love it when the plan comes together, right? All right, so let's figure out why that was not happening. It has to do with the buffer, I am positive. Let's try this again. I'm gonna do a fresh load from our server. See if that'll do it for us. I think I was just cached in the buffer. It keeps starting right at, I don't know why it keeps doing that. There must be something I have with this video set up that I need to go back and change. Because it keeps starting 3 minutes in, and that's not where I had all my triggers set up. All right, try this one more time. I'm hoping. Nope. All right, well, either way, my video is not cooperating because I'm sure I have some sort of setup that keeps making it want to start 3 minutes in for some reason, but that's okay. Here's one of our video events, which is the main reason for our little looking here. Let's see what it saw at this point. So on our video event, we're going to go to variables. And I can see down here, video visible says yes, there was a video. Here's the specific video URL. Here is the, in fact, I think that time is what's causing that right there. Look at that, that shouldn't be there. So we'll have to go back and change that video, but that's okay. That's just an embed thing. So our video wasn't embedded to actually start a little bit ways in, which I didn't realize. That's why it was showing current time. 211, that's 211 seconds. So that's why it was starting there. And so it already knew the duration of how far in it was. It knew it was 10% of the way in. It knew that the video had just been started, right? So there was a start event that had fired. So there's all this different information that it has. So what I would want to do then is, now that I see what this video has, I want to go back and send that information to Google Analytics. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do, just because of the situation that we happen to find ourselves in here, got to move on the fly and adjust on the fly, is because I've got this embed thing that keeps happening. I am going to change. I think I'm going to try to change my trigger a little bit. And I'm going to do a little bit because I want to show, let's see if I can do 331. Okay, so I'm going to go to Tag Manager, and let's configure our trigger. I'm going to change our trigger just a little bit. And we're going to say time threshold still, and it was, what was that, 331 was 211 seconds. So let's say it's 220 seconds. So we'll say 220 seconds is when this is going to fire. This should hopefully show us a little time thing just so you can see what that works, since I happen to have accidentally set up my video to start in the middle, which is not very helpful. But again, stuff like that's going to happen, so this is how you figure it out. All right, so now we're going to go into tags. And then what I would like to do is I'm going to set up a new tag. We're just going to pass information over to analytics. So I'm going to set it up as a universal analytics, and we're going to go into an event tag. And here, let's just say this is going to be a video event, video category. And then, actually, you know what? I'm going to do something different. We're going to say this is engagement. So I'm going to put it in this overall category of engagement. Then I'm going to say video. And then underneath video, we're going to pop in some variables. Let's do a video. Let's say the title of the video. So I'm just going to fix that. We're going to do a couple of little braces here that pulls up our variables, as we can see here. Scroll up so you can see all that. So again, a couple little braces pulls up all of our variables, and we're going to put in the video title, and that's it. Now you can also do other things too. I could put a few dashes and say I want the URL of the YouTube video, and do some little braces, and that's our video URL. So I can kind of do that as well. So and just kind of nest these up, and what will happen is the title will automatically get pushed into here along with the URL on YouTube, so I can see both things. So at this point, we're going to tell it to go to our demo account, and then we attach our trigger, which we already have set up, and we already know is working, at least the way that we thought it was supposed to be working. I should probably change the name of that, actually. Now, why am I changing the name of this? Because it doesn't do 10, 20, and 30 anymore. It does 220. So that's what I'm going to say. So now we're going to do that. Okay, so here, I'm going to call this GA, because it's a Google Analytics tag. It's an event. In this case, it is report video. So, and now I'm going to go ahead and preview again. And now with any luck, as we go back, we should be able to see, make sure I refresh my preview. I always like to make sure I do that. Now I'm going to Control F5 because I'm on a PC, do a nice fresh pull from the server, hopefully. Okay, so now we've got everything there. I've got my tag, which is there. which it hasn't fired, it's not supposed to. We're going to go ahead and get our video going. There is our first video event. So here in our event, it showed the video along with the title. Great, that's awesome. So we have that. Now there'll be another video event. Actually, this one, it actually started the way I wanted it to. Oh, no, it didn't. There it goes. So let's see. So we said 3:30, I believe. Let's make sure. Hopefully I had my timing on my seconds correct. I may or may not have. But you get the general idea. So here, oh, there it was. Yep, so I did have it right. So there's another one. So then it fired again. Right now, again, in this case, I'm firing two events that actually look exactly the same. They're not really useful in that case. I should have one maybe that says start, right? Or I have another one that might say, what percentage of the way in, what progress that they've made. So in this case, I can go to gtm.video, seeing the variables. Down here it says starts. I could put video status as a variable. So instead of passing the title or the URL in a certain spot, I could put video status and say start. So I can see the number of starts for a particular video. Down here it says progress now. So if I click on number 13 video, it says progress. So I could say, oh, progress 10% of the way. Right? Progress, whatever the current time was. In that case, 2:20 is what I set the timer for. So that's sort of how that whole thing works. And then when this video completes, you'll see it actually says completed. And then you can pass that through as well with that completion event. So again, if I wanted to do that, because I'm going to go into analytics, I'll show you that this is working. So we're going to go to events. There we go. This is where we test in the real-time reports. And in our events section here, you can see engagement, and there's our video. You can see also why I put it under engagement since I have like scroll and everything else. But here's our little video event. So showing the title automatically coming through. There's the live weekly Q&A. And then it shows the actual YouTube video URL, which is awesome. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in the tag manager. And I'm going to make those changes because I think it's kind of useful to do that. So we're going to go back into report video. And instead of just doing the title, I'm going to reorganize things. And you will find that you will do this. Okay, you will absolutely find that you're going to do this. So under engagement, we're going to do video. And then I'm going to do title. And then I'm going to do whatever the status was. So we're going to say status. And now I'm going to go ahead and save that. And this is not the only way to do this. Don't take this as the only way. I just want to show you some of the pieces that you can use. Because again, you might put it under a different category, right? It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh. Oops, let's go back and refresh this one first. And then we'll refresh this one next. Okay, there's our video event. So in our video event now, when I come through and I can see in the event, it's passing through status start. Then the next one that'll happen at 220 seconds in will say status dash progress. Right, so that's how you can start using variables to do this. And you might find it's a good idea maybe to not even do the engagement category, but maybe you want to do a video category, then have the title of the video, and then underneath the title show starts and everything else, because that might be a little bit more useful way for you to actually go about doing that. So that's it. And if you go back again to analytics, we can see that it's already passing through in our events. And at this point, what can I do with this? Well, besides measuring the progress of the video and how well the videos are doing, I could set event goals in Google Analytics. I can create segments from these in Google Analytics. I can create retargeting audiences into AdWords, into Google Ads, I should say. You could also do this. You could, at the same time that I'm passing this stuff over to Analytics with these tags, I could easily do it with Facebook as well and send it over to Facebook. So I could create audiences with Facebook or measure custom conversions with Facebook, because Facebook would then have those details. So there's a lot that you can do with this. And I realize that, even though this is a getting started topic, it is it's on the you should have a little experience with Tag Manager, obviously. So if you haven't started yet with the beginner's guide to Tag Manager and you're just tiptoeing in, don't do this one yet. You're not quite ready for that. You want to get into like the basics of page view tags and some event tags and tracking links and that sort of stuff. Then move into this, because this is definitely on the edge of, once you're setting up things like this, you start moving into some of the more advanced topics. But I wanted to make sure that as a beginner, as somebody who's just starting out with implementation, that you knew, at the very least, even if you're not ready to do this yet, at least you know that you can do this and play around with it when you are ready. So that is that. What was your one thing? Hopefully, it was the chance to see how the video sometimes doesn't cooperate. Like that happens, and you can easily see what how we debugged it. I figured out, oh, the video is starting a couple minutes in when it shouldn't. I didn't know it was going to or shouldn't have, but it was. So that's fine. It's just adjusted my trigger, and then I'll eventually go back and change that video so that it's just starting at 0, so that that doesn't happen again. But there's also just showing what you can do with this. Just set up the trigger that you can set up some of the variables, but not all of the variables. I think it's probably a good idea to set them all up because chances are you will end up using most of those. But when you saw how when I had all those variables is where it could see everything, and if I didn't have all those variables enabled, it didn't see everything. It couldn't see things like that I was playing or progress or starting the videos. So hopefully more than one thing that came through there. If you do need a better way to know your numbers, always we invite you to join the Measurement Marketing Academy, where we put all of these workshops. We have over 150 workshops that are back there for you. There's a whole search function. You can search for whatever topics you want. You have the members office hours, the Academy member only Q&A that we do every week. You can jump on the call with an instructor and actually just chat out your problems, like talk them out with somebody, share your screens. Like it's really an opportunity to have literally a consultant right by your side that can help you out with a fresh pair of eyes and get you unstuck and on the way. We have Ask an Instructor support, where if it's not the office hours, you can just pop a little question in there, and our instructors are able to answer you back and get you, again, answers within hours and not days. So there's a tremendous amount of support. Not to mention, you've got tons of tools and resources. The workshop series, we have win courses back there for standalone courses. So just about anything that you're looking for from a measurement marketing perspective, you will find in the Measurement Marketing Academy. Just go to measure.tips/start to learn more. Of course, if you are already an Academy member, thank you, as always. And at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday, that's today as of this recording, we will see you on the members' office hours, right? We've got Measurement Marketing Academy office hours. It's the member Q&A where everybody can jump on. We've got some really great conversations with people that come on there and just sort of talk about ideas, what they're going through. It's like this little mini mastermind sometimes. It's a really, really awesome event, and I appreciate all of you that are able to join that. Again, check your email, Facebook, or you can go into the Academy itself. In the Measurement Marketing Academy, you will find your links to join the live Q&A. Next week's topic is Beyond the Basics. We're getting a little more advanced. Remember, I promised you some more advanced stuff. Every week we rotate to a different topic. Next week it goes into something a little more advanced, using Tag Manager to set cookies. So that, believe it or not, is incredibly helpful. Such a powerful technique. And so you need to know how to do that. And if you're just starting out, that's cool. Like, just know that this, maybe next week's topic, you just know that it's a thing, and when you're ready, it's there. But if you have been using Tag Manager for a while and you've not used cookies, you will find this an incredible workshop, because it'll change your life as far as what you're able to do with these tools. Very, very cool. All right. Finally, if you are not yet a part officially of Workshop Wednesday, I invite you to join that. Measure.tips/WW. It is a free service that we offer where we kick out these workshops each and every week, and you are able to get notified of topics and that sort of stuff, so you know kind of what's coming up, and are able to join those as well. So again, measure.tips/WW to learn more about that free service. And that is that. That brings us to the end. This has been Getting Started, tracking YouTube videos on your site. Thanks again for watching this workshop, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care.